The quietest person in the room is not shy. They are running a completely different cognitive process than everyone around them. While others are talking, performing, trying to be seen, this person is absorbing everything. And here is what the research discovered. They are not just observing what is happening now. They are predicting what happens next, before you finish your sentence. This is not personality. This is biology. It is controlled by something called the Ventral Vagal system, a neurological mechanism that quiets mental noise and sharpens awareness to a level most people never access. Scientists have now built a psychological measurement tool around this exact profile. It is called the Quiet Ego Scale, QES-14. Not a measure of how shy you are, a measure of how clearly you see reality without your ego distorting it. And that, according to research published across Italy, India, and the United States, is what makes them the most dangerous person in the room. Not because they are aggressive, because they already know what you are going to do next. So what is actually happening inside the brain of the quietest person? Let us find out. Most people think silence means nothing is happening. They are wrong. There are two completely different types of silence: outer silence and inner silence. Outer silence is just not speaking. Inner silence is when your mind stops talking about itself. No internal chatter about how you look. No running calculations about what people think of you. No performance anxiety. The mind stops pointing at itself and points outward at everything else instead. Now, your nervous system controls all of this, and it has 3 modes. Mode 1, sympathetic activation. Fight, flight, defend. Heart rate spikes, stress hormones flood the body. Thinking becomes narrow, fast, and threat-focused. Most people in a difficult conversation are stuck in this mode. Their brain is noisy. It is burning all of its processing power, managing their own discomfort. Mode 2, dorsal vagal shutdown. This is the freeze state. Stress so overwhelming that the body collapses inward. Silence that comes from overwhelm, not awareness. This is not what we are talking about. Mode 3, ventral vagal engagement. Calm, stable, safe. In this mode, the brain's alarm system goes quiet. The prefrontal cortex, the executive command center, takes full control. Researchers at the Polyvagal Institute call this the vagal brake, a myelinated pathway in the nervous system that acts like a biological filter. It suppresses internal chatter and redirects all of that freed processing power toward the environment, toward you. The quiet person has learned, either through training or through their own wiring, to hold this state even when everything around them is chaotic. While your nervous system is busy defending you from the conversation, their nervous system is recording it. Now here's the part most psychology videos never talk about. For some people, this is not a skill they built. It is how they were born. Scientists call it the Orchid Phenotype. Based on differential susceptibility research, this is the study of how the same gene produces completely different outcomes depending on environment. There is a specific gene variant called the DRD47 repeat allele. It is a dopamine receptor gene on chromosome 11. Roughly 1 in 5 people carry it, and if you carry it, you are wired differently. In harsh environments, these individuals suffer more than others. They absorb stress more deeply. They feel everything at a higher intensity. But in safe, supportive, or neutral environments, they process the world with higher fidelity than anyone around them. They pick up tone shifts that others miss entirely. They notice the energy of a room changing before anyone else registers it. They absorb the unspoken subtext of a conversation like a second language. Researchers studying this from Cambridge to NIH have used one phrase repeatedly: sensitivity to the environment, for better and for worse. The dandelion person grows anywhere, resilient, largely unaffected. The orchid person cannot not respond. Silence for them is not an absence of input, it is an intensification of it. If you have always felt like you experience rooms differently from everyone else, if social environments feel louder and more complex and more layered than they seem to for others, now you understand the biology behind it. But whether you are wired this way or trained this way, the effect is the same. 5 observable signs, and once you know what to look for, you will see them everywhere.
Sign 1. They convert attacks into information. When someone verbally attacks a quiet person, they do not react. That pause is not hesitation, it is computation. In that silence, they are performing what psychologists call cognitive reframing. They are asking one question: what internal pressure is causing this person to behave this way? Your aggression just became their diagnostic data. Your outburst told them more about you than a year of normal conversation would have. Sign 2. They see systems, not just people. Most people walk into a room and see individuals, friends, rivals, strangers. The quiet person sees something different. They see patterns. Who holds real influence and who performs it? Who is aligned and who is pretending? Where the stress fractures are in the group. Psychologists call this entity perception. They are not judging each person individually. They are mapping the system. Sign 3. They are already ahead. While you are in the middle of making your point, they have already run the simulation of where this conversation ends. Cognitive researchers describe this as running a digital twin of a conversation in real time. They are not reacting to what you are saying. They are responding to what you are about to say. 3 to 5 moves ahead, like a chess player who already sees the end game while you are still deciding your first move. Sign 4. They cannot be gaslit. This one changes everything once you understand it. The Quiet Ego Scale research, across 13,391 participants, confirmed one consistent finding. High scorers demonstrate what researchers call interoceptive precision, an extremely accurate awareness of their own internal physiological states. What this means in practice: when someone tries to convince them they are wrong about what they saw, their body already logged it. When someone tries to tell them they are overreacting, their nervous system has its own record. You cannot update a file that is locked. Social pressure does not overwrite internal experience for these individuals. They trust what their body registered over what anyone tells them about it. Sign 5. Their presence changes the room. The last sign is the most subtle and the most powerful. The quiet person does not need to speak. Their presence alone shifts what happens around them. When people sense they are being truly observed, not judged, not evaluated for status, but genuinely seen, the group's behavior recalibrates. Performances drop, pretenses thin. People speak more carefully. Psychologists call this the watcher effect. A single, high-awareness individual in the room acts as an informal social health monitor, without saying a word, simply by being present and paying full attention. Now let us look at the psychology behind all 5 of these signs. Because they are not random traits, they cluster together. They are all measured by the same scale, the Quiet Ego Scale, QES
14. Developed by researcher Heidi Weymouth. Validated across Italy, India, and the United States. And here is the key finding from the 2025 meta-analysis. 273 studies, 13,391 participants. High QES scores consistently predicted 4 outcomes: resilience under pressure, authentic behavior, personal flourishing, and this is the one that matters: strong negative correlation with the dark triad. The dark triad is the cluster of narcissism, manipulation, and callousness. The quieter the ego, the further they are from those traits. The QES-14 measures 4 psychological qualities. 1. Detached awareness. Observing reality without personal bias distorting it. 2. Inclusive identity. Not seeing others as competition, seeing them as part of a larger system. 3. Perspective taking. The ability to understand not just what someone thinks, but why. 4. Growth orientation. Treating every challenge as data, not as a threat to the ego. These 4 qualities, combined with ventral vagal regulation, combined with the orchid sensitivity wiring, this is the complete architecture of the quietest person in the room.
Here is why this matters right now. We are living in a time of what researchers call cognitive drift. People are outsourcing their thinking, copying opinions instead of forming them, reacting to information instead of processing it. And the quiet person is one of the last people still doing the actual work of thinking. Because they pause, because they observe, because they refuse to react before they understand. This entire capacity has a name: adaptive hypervigilance. A system where the brain processes social information at a precision most people never activate. Not because they are broken, not because they are antisocial, but because their nervous system is tuned to a frequency the noisy world cannot access. Silence is not emptiness. It is information abundance. The quietest person in the room is not behind. They are not shy. They are not weak. They already know something about you that you have not said yet. Most people misread them because they only understand noise. But you were never broken. You were built to notice. If this decoded something about yourself, share it with the quietest person you know. They have earned the recognition. Hit like, share it, and let the algorithm know this kind of content belongs here.